Hello, everyone. This is the 47th episode of Sportstake. Here we are. We're going to talk sports again. We got our crew and we ready to go talking about sports. Always something interesting is going on in the world of sports. And we have some of the best sports minds to discuss it. Jeff, what is the prognosis for football? The season, of course, preseason hasn't started, but what are you hearing in the camps?
Well, right now, everybody is taking it easy. You know, they had OTAs, have gone through all of that. Now, training camp starts up. The rookies report on July 25th, so that's 2 weeks from now. So 2 weeks from today, the rookies will report, and a few days later, then the regular guys report. So we're about to get started. We're about to get started with football. It's time for some football, baby. Time for some football. Now, the only issue that I have with the Texans in the offseason is that they didn't address, in my opinion, they didn't do a good enough job addressing the offensive line. But I understand the draft picks they had at number 25 was not going to afford them to get the offensive lineman they wanted. So there was no one on the board at that time. So they traded down and they was able to get the receiver they wanted. And they came back and got an offensive lineman toward the latter part of the second round. So I'm hearing he's doing an outstanding job. They expect him to be a starter. They expected a guy, I think he was taken like 48th in the draft. They expect him to be a starter. To come in to be their starting left tackle. So if he does, then great. And he does a good job, then outstanding. But right now, the Texans are ranked last in offensive line. So now the question is, yeah. So the question is, can a team that's got the worst offensive line in the entire league, 32 teams, can that team win the division?
No.
Okay, Gil said no. What about you, Phil? Let me hear Phil.
I don't even believe they're the 32nd ranked offensive line. That's speculation, not revelation. Wait until they play. They still got some good people on that offensive line. I mean, they're ranked there, and that's all nice and dandy. But you got an all-world quarterback. You got some all-world running backs now, especially Chubb is 80% of what he was. And you got some good receivers. So let's just see. I think they can come up with a scheme to manage. I mean, but we'll find out real fast if that's true.
You're right. They won't be. Yeah, you're right. They're 32. They won't be 32 after the season. They'll be 33 or 34. You're right. Very good.
Hey, Jeff, speaking of,
we'll see.
We'll see. I think that's the only weakness.
I
think that's the only weakness. I really think that's the only weakness.
It may be, but I don't buy the fact that there's 32 other offensive lines, 31 other offensive lines better than that one. I've seen some of the other offensive lines, and their record's going to say who they really are.
Right. Well, that's the reason why they're not really pronounced to do anything more than what they have been pronounced to do, is because they feel like that the offensive line has not been.
Okay, and what is that? What
that's the people on the outside looking in. That's not
what are they speculated to do?
They're projected to win about 8 or 9 games, depending on who you ask.
Okay, what do you say?
I got them. I'm projecting them to win 11 games.
Okay,
I'm projecting them to go
you
11
can't win 11 games with a bad offensive line.
I'm aware of that. I'm hoping, like you said earlier.
I'm just saying now. You leading into what I'm saying. Good.
It's not as bad as they say it is. That's what I'm
hoping. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah. I'm hoping, like you, that they're not as bad as they say they are.
What
about you, Daryl? What's your opinion, Daryl? Go ahead, Carl.
Well, I want to change the subject a little bit. I want to talk about, I believe, things have gotten so saturated that pushing the local kind of challenge is always best. They try to do it in baseball with the Astros and the Texans. I think the Texans and the Cowboys should be put in the same division. They need to realign the divisions across the board and make more of a central kind of competition. For instance, also, they need to add a San Antonio team at this time in football and have a whole Texas juggernaut that teams got to go through, and it would help. And of course, you do that in the East Coast, you do that in the Carolina coast, you do that in Florida. It would help enhance the league. What you think about that, Daryl?
No, I agree with you. I would love to step on Dallas's neck every year, twice 2 times a year. That would just that would make my year. I could be down and out, but just the fact that we would do that would just make me happy. I think that the Texans, and I'm like Phil, you gotta show me that we're that bad. However, on the other side of that, we didn't address the line. I don't think there's any excuse for that. When you see that there's a weakness, then you have to do something, whether it works or not. You have to do something, and if even if it's going to be via free agency or by trade or something, Stroud cannot be Stroud if he doesn't have time. We will know very quickly whether or not that line is able to protect him, and if they cannot, we're in for another long season. Now, I also agree with you, Phil. I've got them picked to win 10 games, which, like you said, it's hard to do that if you got a bad offensive line. But then we're playing people like the Titans twice, the Colts twice, the Jags twice. If we don't go 6-0, which we probably won't in our division, but we ought to go 5-1. That's just my opinion. But I'm also biased because I'm a Texas fan. But I mean, we'll see. I'm optimistic, and we'll see where they go. And yes, I would love to beat Dallas twice a year, and even the San Antonio team.
Well, I understand your argument, Mr. General. However, and I understand your analogy of Dallas beating Houston or Houston beating Dallas. It's just like this year in the basketball tournament, high school, when Wheatley beat Yates to go to state.
No.
I mean, but that's another story. Go ahead.
Was had to bring that up.
Go ahead. I mean, Professor, I understand
the
analogy. That was excellent.
That
was excellent transition. Excellent.
I agree with you when you sprinkle facts in.
Yes, sir.
Facts always taste good on a cracker.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
but thank you for that analogy, Mr. General. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. You step right into it.
Let me talk about regional clashes. Prairie View is about to play TSU in their annual Labor Day Classic. I think I've gone like the last 2 out of 3 years, and it's always a good festive occasion. Here in Texas, we used to have a whole lot of them. Texas A&M, even U of H when they played Rice. One thing happened, though, many years ago. We lost the Southwest Conference, and they evaporated into other conferences and things. That had a profound effect on our clashes. Do we still have some of those regional clashes? And what could have happened if we had maintained that, given the big conferences? What you think, Phil?
Well, you got A&M and Texas reunited in the Southeastern Conference, so that's still happening. And then, just by happen chance, just in the college baseball World Series for the women, you had Tech against Texas for the championship. You still gonna have them if you win, because winning teams have a way of meeting up with each other one way or the other, no matter what conference you join or move to. But the Southwest Conference was a conference that I was shocked that it dissolved. But I think, with all the scandals they had, it was kind of hard to stay together. And you only had one team outside of Texas in the Southwest Conference, that was Arkansas. So that was a unique situation, and they could have brought more teams in. They had the money, they had everything. So we'll never see that again. I would hope we would in my lifetime, but I doubt it. But they gave you a lot of pride when you went somewhere and talked about the schools in your area. But now they're everywhere. So, but we do still get regional matchups from time to time, especially if you win whatever conference you're in, and some of them went to the same conference together, so they still play each other. But the traditional ones that kind of broke up, they'll find a way of playing again when they win.
Well, speaking of TSU and Prairie View, that's always going to be a big draw, especially if they play in Houston. It'll always be a big draw, and Prairie View will always win. Okay, go ahead. Next. Go ahead.
I don't think they did last year.
It don't matter. We won. Hold on.
Like the previous 10 they did, though.
We won the previous 9. We won the previous 9.
Yeah, we won the last 9. I don't care if we do. Well, I don't care what the scoreboard said. We won. Our GPAs are higher.
Well, who y'all got?
Good.
My
Let me ask you a
GPA,
question. Well, who leads the all-time series in that series between TSU and Prairie View?
Prairie View A&M University, where we produce productive people.
Yeah, you can say that, but that's not true. I thought you might tell the truth for a change. Yeah.
Hey, I actually filled out the admission form to go to Texas Southern, and they told me my GPA was way too high. They tell you got to go to Prairie View.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff,
Okay,
what is happening in the world of trades, trade rumors, NBA? I know the summer league is going on now. For what I heard, LeBron James' son, Bronny, had a great, entrance into the summer league. What have you heard, Jeff?
He's had some good games, not great games, but he's progressing. He's progressing. The Rockets Summer League team plays tonight. They start up at 9:00. You got Reed Shepherd leading the game, and you also have Nate Williams. Nate Williams right now is probably your bag-up big guard to Armand Thompson. He's playing tonight. So I'm surprised he's playing, but he's playing, and so basically your bag-up guards, Reed Shepherd and Nate Williams, will be your starting guards on your Summer League team. So that starts up at 9:00. So that should be a very interesting game. Let's see.
I got games on right now. Charlotte and Utah are playing right now. So.
Say what?
I said I got the Charlotte and Utah game playing on right now. So I enjoy watching the Summer League.
Yeah, you had with 10 points. I think he had like 10 points.
Yeah, he did. He played good though.
Jeff, what have you heard about more trade rumors?
Well, I'm hearing right now that things are heating up with LeBron James. That LeBron is kind of wanting to move on from the Lakers. He sees that the Lakers are kind of rebuilding, and I don't see that. I don't see the Lakers are rebuilding, but I don't know if he just won out of the Lakers land or what. But what I'm hearing is that there are teams that are sniffing behind him, but not the teams that he wants.
Well,
he wants to go play for are not sniffing behind him.
Yeah, Jeff, he wants another ring. All right, he wants another ring. Right. I get it. Everybody wants a ring, but I don't know if the ring teams, OKC, for example, would welcome him there. But yeah, he wants another ring. I get it.
What's the chance of him going back to Cleveland, guys? Cleveland is up there in the echelon of best teams.
Let me tell you the problem.
The thing that takes them over the edge.
Let me tell you the problem with that, with them trying to make a trade to anybody, is the salaries. You have to understand, mostly teams are over the salary cap. So when you make a trade like that, you have to be like within 25% of the salaries going in versus the salaries coming out. And then if you both teams are over or in the luxury tax, then you got to be within 10%. So if LeBron is making $52 million, you have to send roughly about $47 million in contracts. And that's not always easy to do because, often have to augment contracts, 3 and 4 guys trading for one. And that's too difficult to do at this time because a lot of teams don't have 3 or 4 free roster spots to be able to make that type of trade. So those trades are really difficult.
For a 42-year-old.
Exactly. Even though he's still putting up outstanding numbers. I mean, LeBron's still playing well. But the question is, how much are you going to give up for a guy that may play one more year? Philip, would you do that for the Rockets? If he said, yeah, I want to come play with Durant here in Houston, would you be willing to give up Şengün and Jabari Smith?
It depends on how bad you want him. I wouldn't.
What about you? What about you, Daryl? Would you give up Şengün and
I'm not giving up anything. I'm not giving up
Uh-huh.
anything for him. I'm giving up second rounders. That's all I'm giving for. But it's a bad analogy. But I'm gonna use a prison analogy. If LeBron leaves LA, Bronny gonna get shanked in less than 24 hours. I mean, you see these prison movies where old boys under the protection of someone. As soon as LeBron steps out that front gate, Bronny's gonna get shanked.
Okay, now let me hear y'all. Let me let y'all hear what I'm hearing, but I think it's a long shot. The Rockets really was preparing themselves to make the trade for Giannis. They was really looking to make that trade for Giannis. That's why they kept Reed Shepherd, because they had already talked to Milwaukee about the possibility of making a trade for Giannis, where they send them Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith, and Reed Shepherd for Giannis. And so that's where we are now. So now the question is, are they willing to take that trade now or are they going to go ahead and say, well, let's see what we go. We'll revisit this maybe at midseason at the trade deadline. That's a possibility. It could be revisited then. I'm not sure Milwaukee's willing to make that trade right now, but I know the Rockets, they would love to add a Giannis to Kevin Durant. And along with Armand Thompson. Oh, that's a heck of a big three.
Absolutely. That's a heck of a trade, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'd give up all them and the water boy and the towel boy too. They all got to go.
Giannis, I bet you Phil wouldn't do that trade. I bet you Phil, would you do that trade?
For Giannis?
Huh?
I'll do that one.
Hold on, I can't hear Phil.
I would do that one.
Oh, you would do that. Okay. Well,
it's the other stuff you're talking about. It's the other stuff you're talking about.
Again, who you giving up?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff you can replace. Those guys you can replace. Giannis still got some good years left.
See, my thing is, I'm trying to build chemistry, and I wouldn't just automatically get Giannis. Before I got Kevin Durant, I would have tried to get Giannis, and I would have spent more time, if there was a possibility, trying to get Giannis, if that was a possibility. But I already settled on Kevin Durant, so I'm trying to build chemistry now. So for the most part, I would say no, unless it's an incredible trade deficit in my favor.
Okay,
and that would be one. Timing is everything.
Carl, the trade is Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith, and Reed Shepard. Would you do that trade? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. All right. What did you say, Darryl? What did Darryl say?
That'd be a tough one. I mean, I want Giannis, but as a fan of the team, not just of the sport, but of the team, I don't want to win one championship or just maybe two, or just take the chance and give up all of my future. I was happy with the Durant trade because I didn't think that we gave up too much. If we have Giannis, Durant, the twin, Van Vliet, Dort Finney, that's not a layup for the championship. That's not even a layup for the Western Conference Finals. It makes us a favorite, but I mean, I see you, Gil, but I don't see it. I mean, you had Demerson Body in you. And then, so okay then.
Nice.
All right, guys, let's have our annual Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese WNBA conversation. First of all, who is the most valuable in the WNBA this year? Is it Natasha, or I don't know how to pronounce her name, Collier of the Minnesota Lynx?
I like Collier.
Who's the most valuable?
I like Collier. I like Collier. She's the leading scorer in the league. I like Collier. 23.5 points a game. Asia Wilson's averaging 21. Kelsey Plummer averaging 20. Brianna Stewart averaging 20. But I like what Angel Reese has done. She got off to a slow start to the season, and she was being talked about by everybody. Black men, white women, not black women, but everybody was pretty much talking about them. I mean, it was all over the place, all over the sites. They was talking about it because she got off to a slow start. At one point, Angel was only averaging like 2 points a game, like 2 points, 10 rebounds. And she was really out to a slow start. But in the last, say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, she has really come on. She putting up some huge numbers. Now her average is up to 13.5 points a game, 13 rebounds a game. So she's really come on a lot in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So I tell her all the time how proud I am of her because I communicate with her on social media. I told her to get out of the mirror and stop taking all these pictures showing everybody your body. We already know you fine, Angel. You don't need everybody else to know you fine. Get in the gym and work on your game. And she's done that.
Hey, Jeff, let me.
Yeah, she only did it because you told her, Jeff.
She gets appearance fees for showing up. They'll give her $20,000 just for showing up in the crowd and showing her body, and so that adds to her program.
Adds to it.
Hey, so plus she's still balling. It's not affecting her game. Her offense has improved. She can shoot.
Well, when I told her that, she was doing horrible. She was averaging like 2 points a game. That was the first 2 weeks of the season. Everybody was on her. I mean, even RG3, he dogged her out real bad, and he did it right in front of his white wife. And so another guy, he jumped on. He's like, "Wait a minute, you gonna see me dog?"
RG3 took it up the rear too for doing that. because he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
out
You
of
gonna
order.
sit here and dog out the sister in front of your white wife. No, you didn't do that. Tell us you didn't do that, RG3.
Well, there's some particular assets that Angel Reese possesses that are not actually assets for his wife. Now, if you want me to watch a WNBA game, and I'm gonna get off this, you guys can say what you want, and you say Angel Reese is playing, I'm gonna get on the big screen and watch it. All right.
I know
I
that's
don't know
right,
how
my
you want
brother.
to process that, General, but I'm watching that game up close and in person.
Well, my question to Carl was, when you said most valuable, but you didn't say most valuable player, most valuable person. So I'm not quite sure what you meant by most valuable.
I do. I mean most valuable player of the WNBA this year, and that's why I said Natasha Collier.
Well, I don't know about player because I don't watch enough. But what I do know is that the most valuable person, whether y'all like it or not, is Caitlin Clark. So y'all might as well get over.
I said most valuable player, though.
I went to lunch Wednesday late at 2 o'clock, and when I pulled up my computer, there had already been 2 WNBA games played in the middle of the day on a Wednesday. And the Fever drew 16,978 for a day game on a Wednesday at noon. The other game only drew 7,000. And Caitlin lost that game. The Fever actually lost that game. That woman is the most valuable person. She's not the most valuable player.
Market-wise, there's no denying. But on the court, who is the most valuable? That's my question. Market-wise, there's no question, there's no argument. Caitlin has brought all around attention from everywhere, and everybody should give her flowers. But as far as player, I believe Natasha Collier of the Minnesota Lynx, and look at the Lynx record. They are at the top of their division, and the New York Liberty in the other division. Those are the 2 top teams. I would say favored to be in the WNBA championship. The Fever are somewhere in the middle of their division, and even the Aces, who were a perennial team up there, they have fallen down. So the ratings and the standings have changed up a little bit. Even the Valkyries have moved up an initial expansion team. So it's very interesting. But Jeff, important question, and Phil, why with the expansion of the WNBA have not the Houston team been considered? You got 3 teams supposed to be coming in, but why not Houston? What's going on?
Those other 3 teams, they got representation, and they made their sales pitches much sooner. Houston was late to the ballpark in relation to those other 3 cities. And right now, so Houston's behind. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm just going to say Nafisha Collins is definitely the MVP of the season, but I'd like to defer that question to Pat, let Pat answer it for me.
That's what I was going to say.
Concerning why the teams are not here. He coached high school girls basketball. He knows a lot more about that than I. Pat, help us out on that one.
First of all, it's a money thing. Who in Houston is going to pay for the team?
Well, Tim and Fertitta pay for everything else.
But see, all y'all know, they ain't that getting in something to lose money.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
He ain't getting in to lose
all
no
of
money.
this going on with Caitlin Clark and everything else, cannot a Houston team be successful? We're interested in Houston.
You got to look at
Caitlin Clark.
Carl, look at what Darryl just told you. They had a game with Caitlin Clark on it with 17,000 sold out. The other game had 7.
Okay.
Now, back in the day, the Comets drew. They did draw, but different time. So where's your fan base going to come from? You going to call them the Comets?
Yeah.
That would be a big question. Whether they could legally call them the Comets.
Where they going to play?
Call them something else. It wouldn't maybe stick, because we attach to that name the Comets for female basketball. So Do you have to pay to get that name back?
It would be the comments. It would be the comments. But they were playing Toyota Center. What's wrong with playing Toyota Center, Pat?
That means Fertitta has on them.
There you go.
If Fertitta doesn't own them, you can't play there because you're going to have to pay him.
Right.
And it's going to be high.
He was put in the bid. I was in the person he put in the bid to have an expansion team.
Yeah, I think they'd have to play at somewhere like Del Mar Stadium. No, I'm not trying to be funny, but
I'm with you, Gil. It'd have to be something smaller than 17,000.
Yeah, they're not going to fill up the Toyota Center. They're not going to fill up.
Don't even fill up.
They're not going to fill up the old Summit because they don't have enough chairs in there now because that other dude's preaching. But I would recommend somewhere like Del Mar Stadium, which is fairly new, and that's probably the fan base that they're going to bring in. They may have to charge more for the tickets, but the fans will pay for that. And I agree that the team would have to be called the Comets to bring back the historical perspective that we all love. I love the Comets.
Look, we all know Fertitta to be a brilliant businessman, and if he wanted them, he would have put in a bid to get them. He has the money. He has the money to get it done. So you read between the lines. If he was only willing to go so far and say, "Well, I guess they're not coming," then I'm going to defer to him.
You make a point because he certainly has the money. You know, he could go to a bank tomorrow and say, "Hey, I want this amount of money," and given his name, they would have gave it to him. Would have been no problem. So there must be a reason. So there must.
He's putting out the airs.
Huh?
He's put out the airs that he is interested in bringing an expansion team back to Houston. That's the airs he's put out. But now the question is he really behind that, or is he just putting on air?
He'll do it at a price, but he's not going to overpay for it because he's a businessman first.
Most definitely.
And that league is constantly losing money every year. And then, of course, you get a team
this. Is this their year of the Astros? Are they going to go to the World Series and win it? And the same thing I was saying about the Texans and the Cowboys. They tried to do the regional thing. Shouldn't they do a little bit more of that, trying to establish a kind of a vibe where the local teams throw in a San Antonio team again? But what's going on with the Astros? What you say, Pat?
I think the last time I was on here and Jeff said that they hadn't played, whatever. The Astros have like the third best record in all of baseball. They have 55 wins now. So you're on pace to win 100. Now, they don't have they need Yada and Alvarez back in the lineup. And as long as they pitching can stay healthy, they got a chance.
Chime in, Phil.
Last time we talked about the Astros, when you were on here, Pat, the Astros were sitting at 35-30 and they were in first place. So I said, well, they don't take much to be in first place when you're in the worst division in the league. That's all I said.
They were 35-30. They still had like the sixth best record in baseball.
At 35-30?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, here's the deal, Carl, what you said about the interacting leagues and trying to get area. When they started doing interleague play, that changed the complexion of baseball totally. You saw teams playing against each other. You never saw the Red Sox here before. You never saw the Yankees here before. But back to the Astros winning it all, the American League is tough. I mean, they beat up some teams over here and beat up some teams in the National League. But Detroit is definitely going to be a team everybody's got to get by them to get there. And that includes the Astros. So, yeah, the American League is tough. I think two of the top three baseball teams, the best records are in the American League, Astros and the Tigers, and then maybe the Dodgers. So, yeah, it's going to be tough all the way around for them to get there. But they can do it.
Introduce our guest, Laquan. How you doing, Laquan? We just asked the question before you came on. Are you there, Laquan?
She's muted.
You're muted.
Okay, she's muted. Well, our question was, who's the most valuable on-court WNBA player? If you're there and would like to answer that, that would be good. But we are toward the end of our program. We've covered a lot of different areas. In tennis, there's a lot of names out there. I hear an American one this year. Is that true? Anybody know in tennis?
Hey, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I'm actually driving, so.
She's in the finals.
I just asked you a question. Who's the most valuable WNBA player on the court?
On the court?
Yeah.
I mean, like, until somebody throw Asia off the throne, Asia is the one.
What about Natasha Collier?
Nafisha.
But until you dethrone Asia, there's nobody at this point until you dethrone Asia. And nobody has done that.
Okay,
agreed.
Well,
It's gonna happen this year though.
and another question: why have not the Houston expansion been in the mix of upcoming WNBA teams? They have got a projection of three more coming in. Why Houston is not among that?
I just predict. I mean, my theory is because they have tried twice in Houston. Because the first owners, remember, they had it and then they sold it to the furniture guy, and that still wasn't successful. So they didn't try the market twice, and they're like very skeptical of like, hey, are we really going? Or can it really stay in Houston? Because we tried it twice. They done won 4 championships, and they still couldn't have it linger on to succeed.
That's pretty good.
That's a valid point.
And analysis also.
Yeah.
Understood.
Hey, Laquan.
Laquan. Caitlin Clark, this is a different time. But one thing, even the Rockets, looking at the playoff game last year, there were so many open seats. So for some reason, maybe our market is saturated. It's not guaranteed to be a successful professional team in Houston.
Hey, Laquan, do you think Angel Reese is closing the gap on Caitlin Clark? She got off to a slow start, and Caitlin Clark got off to a fast start, but now, the last 2 to 3 weeks, Angel has really come on. She's putting up some monster games. And now she's up to over 13 points a game and 13 rebounds a game. So in your opinion, has she closed the gap in on Caitlin Clark?
I mean, can you really compare that gap? I mean, you can't really compare Angel. They want to try to compare it so bad, but I mean, you can't really compare Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark. I mean, there's no way to compare that. Angel Reese should be compared to Asia Wilson, which there's no comparison.
Okay.
But I mean, regardless of what we want, the WNBA want a great white hope. They want a great white hope. No matter how you look at it, how you want it, they want a great white hope. They have been trying it year after year after year. When Diana Taurasi, they tried it with her. Sue Bird, they tried it with her. They want to try. They want to keep trying that great white hope, but it's always one black that comes in and dominate, and then it's like, hey, she's truly the face of the league. So, I mean, hopefully that's what they want, the great white hope. So hopefully
that's what sells
they
tickets.
get it one day.
Thank you, Gil.
That's what sells tickets.
Yeah.
It's
but
not
but they selling tickets, but they haven't made they still losing. So
no, it's not even to the people that
the front office.
Yeah, to the people that count the bean counters, all they look at is the money. They want to know how we're going to make money. It doesn't matter if you win or lose and all the other stuff.
But they're not making money.
Money's what matters. That's what keeps the league afloat.
They're not making money. That's the problem. They're not making money.
That.
No, what's keeping the league afloat is the NBA. The NBA keep fronting them money year after year after year after year. The NBA own majority of the WNBA. Yep. And so that's what's keeping them afloat.
I won't disagree with that.
They are in debt. They are still in. Every year they're in debt to the NBA. Every year.
Speaking of that, are you surprised by any trades? Do you see any other trades or anything going on? And what do you say about the Summer League, LeBron's son, Bronny, Cooper Flag, any of those things?
I think as far as Bronny, I think people need to stop expecting so much out of him. I mean, you know, he's of course he's not his dad. Stop expecting so much out of him. Just allow him. He's a true role player. That's all he is. He's not gonna be someone that's gonna be able to lead and run a team. He's a true role player. Let him be a role player. He's gonna be what's his name?
Shanked.
Tell her what you meant by that, Daryl, so she'll know.
I'm sorry, Laquan. That was a joke that I told before you came on. I used a prison analogy. I said the minute LeBron leaves LA, it's like a guy that's in prison being protected by one of the big mobsters. The minute LeBron steps out the front, Bronny's gonna get shanked in less than 24 hours.
I knew she would like that.
You're wrong for that, Daryl. You're wrong for that.
That's the only reason that Bronny has. That's the only reason he can eat his meal in peace. It's because LeBron. It says don't touch it. That's it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I just think Bronny, you know, just let him just be. He's, you know, he is what it is. I mean, just let the young man be. You know, let him get his little 3 to 5 minutes, and you know, hey, just live off the name. Just live off the name.
Understood.
3 to 5 minutes. That's pretty good.
Anything else in the world of sports that?
Carl, I'm something I want to bring up. Contracts, NBA contracts. When is enough enough? Do you realize that the OKC Thunder, now I understand they just won the championship and they're all excited over there and everything. I can understand that. Just had their parade. First time they've ever won anything in Oklahoma. I understand that. But do you understand that Oklahoma just gave out $822 million in contracts? $822 million in contracts. They gave Shea Alexander 4 years, $285 million. They gave Jalen Williams 5 years, $287 million. They gave Chet Holmgren 5 years, $250 million. Do y'all think these contracts are getting?
Go ahead, Laquan.
No, Chet. I don't think he's worth that much. But go ahead.
Yeah, for 5 years, $250 million. So he's getting $50 million a year, Chet.
They could with all that money, they could buy Oklahoma and annex Arkansas and the top of Texas.
Yeah. Look at it like this. Once again, the owner not losing no money. He not giving money away. So if he paying them, guess how much he making?
Yeah. These franchises are appreciating in value at an alarming rate.
But you got to understand, once the TV deals push the salary cap, so that they push the salary cap. Whatever percentage they give it, they're gonna push the salary cap, and so that's what's gonna. And whoever getting the most TV time, that's gonna give them more cap. That's gonna give them more cap, so they're gonna be able to offer that type of money. Now, smaller markets, that's who's hurting. That's who's going to be the smaller teams. That's who's going to be hurting, because you look at it, they don't have that opportunity to offer that type of money. And nowadays, you got everybody want to team up instead of being competition.
Right.
That's
OKC is a smaller market too. But the problem I see with OKC is the same thing that happened when they had Westbrook, Harden, and Ibaka. You can give them these contracts, but you can't sustain that. And you cannot sustain the team of that quality if you can't pay Dort, if you can't pay Caruso, if you can't pay all your both. You have to mix them out, and that's where you're going to mess up your chemistry. And sooner or later, they're going to have to make a choice. And Jalen Williams or Holmgren, it won't be Shea, but one of them is going to get shipped out in some trade. And don't say nobody's untouchable. There's nobody. We had this conversation last time. When's the last time outside of Steph Curry that a superstar, an all-star, a future Hall of Famer remained with the same team that he's on now? So just because they signed these big contracts, they're not OKC Thunder for life. These guys will go as soon as this falls off, and it's destined to fall off if you can't find the right role players to replace those guys that sooner or later, Caruso, Dort, and the rest of them have to get out of there.
But
He's
they
right.
do.
Because
They
eventually
do.
these other guys, their contracts are going to become due, and you're going to have to give them big money. You're not going to have the big money to give them if you're paying these other guys $822 million. So he's right.
But they're looking at that. That's their big three. So that's their big three. They got them for 4 to 5 more years that they can be strong in the market. Now, you look at Houston Rockets. They gave up majority of their stuff for an old man until 2032. Until 2032. For an old man. For an old man.
Who until 2032? Who is that?
They haven't extended them yet. They haven't extended them yet.
I'm just saying, if it happens, then they won't have nothing until 2032. To 2032.
Well, first of all, they're not going to extend him to 2032, sis. At most, he'll get 2 more years on the top of the 1 year he got left. He'll play 3 more years tops. Top. I promise you that.
If everything, if they do that blockbuster 17, the 14 draft picks, that will be 14 draft picks they're giving up until 2032. Until
you mean if they make the Giannis trade as well?
If they with Kevin Durant, if they do that blockbuster 17 team trade, they remember that what they're talking about, that 17.
They've already done that. That's already been done.
Okay, so that's running through 2032.
Those are second rounders. That's like giving up Jill and a couple
other
guys.
No. That's giving up future for current. That's giving up future for current.
1 first round pick, sis. We gave up 1 first round pick in that trade.
That's giving up future for current. And when has KD ever led a team? When has KD ever led a team? When has KD ever led a team?
But we're not asking him to lead the team either, though.
Who y'all got to lead the team then?
We're asking him to hit the shots that Jalen wouldn't hit.
Who you got to lead the team?
We don't have a true lead. We still don't have a true lead.
Yeah, Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
Fred VanVleet's your leader.
Okay.
We still don't have a true lead.
And you don't have a dog.
Laquan, you're a Hall of Famer. You coming down the court. You got the ball in your hand, and you got Jalen Green on the left wing, and you got KD on the right wing. Who you giving that ball to?
I'm gonna tell you this. KD is a mutt. KD is a mutt without a dog. He's a mutt without a dog.
So you're gonna kick it to Jalen. You got 3 seconds to the left, and you got KD open on the right, and Jalen Green open on the left, and you gonna kick.
When has KD been a dog since he ain't been with Curry? When has he been a dog since he ain't been with Curry?
You gonna give it to Jalen?
I take it you are not a fan of KD.
KD is a mutt.
He's 7 points a game. He's the highest efficiency of anybody in the league.
He's a mixed mutt. He's a mixed mutt. That's what he is. A mixed mutt.
Tell us how you really feel.
I love it. So you are not a proponent of that trade for KD. I wasn't. If they had to give up, like Barry Smith or a couple of other players, I was not also. But for who they gave up, I thought it was an okay trade. Now my trade preferably was giving up the player that they did give up, and maybe 1 more player and getting Giannis. That was my preferable trade. But I like it if they stand pat now and see how the chemistry works.
No. We need to go back. He said 27 points. All right. I'm going to give you another prime example. 29 points. Allen Iverson still couldn't win. That's what KD is. KD cannot win without another.
Don't say Allen Iverson now. I understand he can't win, but Allen Iverson was a dog. Don't say that.
But the thing is, Allen Iverson didn't know how to win because he was too selfish.
I can't argue with that. I said he's a dog.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's a dog, but he's a dog, but he still couldn't win.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant is a mutt, and he needs a dog.
I'm not arguing.
You got to put a dog and a mutt together.
Can I ask Jeff a question?
You're not going to out-talk her.
Jeff, how much did they pay what's his name? Chet? What's his name?
Chet Holmgren, 5 years, $250 million.
Okay, can somebody buy him a barbecue plate in OKC? Because that boy weighs like $110, and he's 7'12".
I know that's right.
I think over the years he's going to fill out. He's only been in the league. This was his 3rd year. I would pay that amount too.
I'm
because
gonna say
I
this about
project
Shed.
that he will be one of the best. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say this about Shed. When look, when you a puppy in a mutt, you can hide behind a dog, and Shy is a dog.
He is a dog, no question.
And see, that's what KD did. He hid him behind Curry. You can hide behind a dog all day. But when you step up into the light and you can't produce like a dog, then you a mutt. You a mutt.
Laquan. He was the MVP of that team. Two championships. He was the MVP. How's he a mutt? How was he hiding behind Curry when he was the MVP, not Curry? How was he a dog? How's he a mutt? Explain it to me, sis. I'm listening.
What KD?
I'll explain it to you. They won before he got there. They got there 3 times before he ever came. I was making the same argument, and y'all thought I was crazy. KD is not a winner.
He still led them to those 2 championships. He was the MVP of the team.
You can lead a mutt to the water. You can lead a mutt to the water and let him get a drink. He can get a drink of it.
Watch out.
He can get a drink, but don't. But what has KD done by himself? I'll wait.
Nobody can do anything by themselves. LeBron can't win by himself. That's why he's smart team to team.
He had Booker. What did he do with Booker? I'll wait.
What did anybody do with Booker? What has anybody done with Booker?
I'll wait for that. And then
what has LeBron done without a team around him?
He went to Brooklyn. He went to Brooklyn, tried to create the Avengers. What happened?
Karl Malone and John Stockton was great players. They didn't win a championship.
Whoa.
Not than Charles Barkley.
I mean, come on. That's not a good analogy. John Stockton got to the championship twice, Jeff.
Hold on. You cannot compare Malone and John Stockton when you got Michael Jordan sitting in the league. You can't do it. You can't do it.
One guy. They scared of Michael Jordan?
Yes, they all said that. They all said they were scared of him.
Stop, Jeff. Stop.
But I'm just saying, KD went to Brooklyn, tried to create the Avengers. What happened? I'm waiting.
You win. You win.
And don't put your hopes on KD too high. Just don't put your hopes on KD too high.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What are some of your observations in the world of sports currently? What's going on? Do you watch tennis? What are some of your observations and some of your perspectives on the world of sports as it's going on now?
I would just say, like, I watch mostly everything. Soccer, I love soccer, so I watch soccer, and I think the women's has Dennis Rodman's daughter Trinity. She has done outstanding. She has made a name for herself. She don't have to live up to his name. She has made her own name. And
bad girl.
Yes, and to me, the black people, women and men, are taking over sports. We got Ben Shelton in tennis. He's killing the game right now in tennis. And his daddy was also a major tennis player that won championships as well. So I salute that big time. I salute that. Track and field with the women. This is Shelly Ann Frazier last year. So the world champs will be her last race. And I think she's the most decorated sprinter, especially coming from Jamaica. That's a big thing. But just overall, I think sports are becoming more exciting because now I think they're taking it back to like the old days where they create a rivalry between other people and make it, hey, this person versus this person, or this team versus this team. And I think that's becoming more exciting because, in today's world, everybody loves drama.
Most definitely. Well, guys, we toward the end of our show. I want to give everybody a chance to say their final tidbit before we go. Daryl, you want to start?
Hey, Cole, before we do our last tidbit, let's have a word from our sponsor.
Go ahead. Yes,
of course, that would be A-Rocket Moving and Storage, a fully serviced moving company, residential, commercial, moves at any and every time you need to think about it. Give us a call, 713-748-6024. It's a second generation moving company. It's been around since 1959. DeAndre Sam is currently heading up the whole core of what happens at A-Rock. We just built a 62,000 square foot warehouse, climate control, and we love to have the business. We're 3401 Quarter. Give us a call, 713-748-6024. Ask for Philip Green, and I may be able to do a little something for you if you let someone know you heard it here on Sportstake with Jeff Walker.
Great on.
Thank you, sir.
On.
All right, Daryl, go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, I don't want to put a damper on this great show. I really enjoyed this, but I want us all to sit back and take a moment, y'all. I personally know someone who lost 2 kids in the recent floods, and I know a second guy whose daughter is still unaccounted for. So I just want to say, y'all, you know, let's love each other, man. You know, time is short. We think we're old folks, but these years fly by, man. So enjoy your sports, enjoy your life, enjoy your family and friends. But just keep in mind that tomorrow's not promised, and I love you all.
Yes.
What's
Amen.
up,
Amen.
It's mutual.
Same thing. Hey, tomorrow's the funeral for my boy Ike's father, Buck Isaac. So it's 11 o'clock. It's in Fifth Ward, the church in Fifth Ward. It's on the JY site. It's also on the Third Ward Sports site. So we want to be there to support our brother. Yeah, that was a tremendous loss for him. So that's tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
You got a final word?
I just want to thank y'all for allowing me to show up.
Thanks, Pat. Thank you for showing up, man. We appreciate you, man.
Gil, you want?
I do have, and I'd like to follow up to what Mr. General was saying. They put every time something tragic happens, there's everybody that's in politics, including the orange meathead, wants to send thoughts and prayers. Send FEMA, send clothes, send money. How about putting a siren in to warn these people that there's an avalanche of water coming at them? The thoughts and prayers are not working. Quit sending them. Quit sending thoughts and prayers. Send money. We pay enough in taxes.
The big beautiful bill cut FEMA. The big beautiful bill cut FEMA.
I understand. That's my point. That's my point.
Just like he cut the pandemic team.
That's my point. Yep. We got a guy that don't know what a Bunsen burner is in basic 9th grade science, talking about something scientific.
And I can't believe he didn't know that the mass deportation was going to have a major impact on the construction industry, as well as a whole lot of different industries, because most of our skilled laborers are the people who you're deporting.
Absolutely.
You didn't even think about that.
And two things, and I'm gonna be quiet. The people that are deporting have less felony convictions than he does. All of them.
Thank you.
Okay. Secondly, and most importantly, why he didn't know that the president of Liberia spoke English? That's their native language, you meathead. I'm done. Don't get me started. I'm done.
Will, final word.
Hey, the young man we had on here a couple of weeks ago, Jalen Burrell, is actually playing right now in the Swingman Classic. He got a personal phone call from King Griffey Jr. Congratulating him on being there. So as soon as we get off, the game is on right now on MLB. So we just want to congratulate that young man for his enthusiasm and his fun time that he had talking with us, and how excited he was out there to prove what he can do, because he's anticipating getting drafted. Of course, Major League Baseball has a long history of getting guys early, they bust, getting guys late, they go to Hall of Fame, vice versa. So we'll see what that young man does. He has a lot of high hopes. So hopefully I get a chance to catch a couple of innings and see what he does. His dad had been blowing me up all week, letting me know that his son is there. So you guys check it out if you can, and listen for the name, Jalen Burrell. He was on the show. We'll try to get him back on again.
Sound good.
Laquan, what you guys think? Carl, one last thing, Carl. Deion Sanders is advocating for a salary cap on the college football salaries for these players that they're getting. What do you guys think about having a cap on that?
Something got to happen, because the kids are not mature enough to really dictate the whole industry. Now, they should have some influence on it because they are the ones putting their flesh and blood on the line. But there should be some, some things in place to gear it toward education a little bit more, as well as their care and survival while they're in school. So it needs to be some balances. So, and that's Dion saying that. I would agree. Some kind of cap.
Well, his son Shador took a pay cut to sign with the Cleveland Browns. So that's any indication. A huge pay cut.
Final word, all these WNBA players, they took pay cuts. From coming to college to the WNBA, they took pay cuts. Yeah. So yeah.
Final word, Laquan.
Look, I just love us for real. One thing for me is just, hey, if we can learn how to band together and just step up for each other. If somebody needs something, or you find something that fits somebody else a good idea, be able to pass that on to the next person. So, because the thing is, it's a lot going on in the world, and I think we should just band more closer at one. And look, I support all my people. I love all my people. Yeah, I will debate on things, but the thing is, I wish all of us success. I wish all of us success, and we could be greater as one unity instead of trying to hate and go against each other.
That was going to be my question, Shaquan. Do you think that Caitlin Clark was snubbed by the Olympic committee?
No.
She's not on the Olympic team. Do you think she was snubbed?
No.
You don't think she's okay?
No.
Because some of those players said they weren't going to play on the Olympic team if she was on the Olympic team. My next question on that is,
I just feel like, of course, I mean, when it comes to I think they kind of learned their lesson doing a lot of stuff with younger players. Kristen Leitner, they kind of learned their.
Whoa!
That was one of them. And as the time went on, they kind of started learning their lesson with different, younger players. So I just think, hey, when you start getting that development, showing that, hey, this is where you could play, because playing international is a different type of ball. It's a different type of ball game than playing in the league. It's just different.
I gotta run. Sorry about this. I gotta get off.
All right, G. We finna.
Thank you, Gil. Thank you.
That's that quicken phone.
Finish us out.
Thanks, Gil. Thank you.
Finish us out with your last word.
Talking to me?
Yes, Jeff. Your last word.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up today. Well, we're supposed to have Sloan Hood. I really had an interview set up for Sloan, so I was really hoping to have Sloan, but it didn't work out. But I thank you for everyone else who showed up to make tonight's show an outstanding show. Thank you, Laquan. Laquan was. He's got a lot of spunk. You got a lot of spunk. I appreciate you, Laquan, showing up.
Everybody, this is our 47th episode. We're going to keep it going. Real soon we'll be at 50, and then after that 100. And if it's sports conversation going on, we there talking about it. So keep checking us out on Sportstake. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.